Yo, if this pussy nigga can't get it live, get him the fuck out and let Doc take the job. I'm guaranteed hardcore funk for 3 months. Warranty within that 3 months is like prenups. I take half of everybody's sales. I don't give a fuck your rap R&B or folk or country. You could do a duet LP with Billy D. I'm the Doc, pure water. Let a bay watch the slaughter. I jump off stage to kick him in the fade. I'm lifted like my back carry helicopter blades. Fuck a police raid. This a bum rush. You'll agree like Siskel and Ebert with your thumbs up like Doc is a nigga that'll freak the funk. Yeah, Doc is a nigga that'll blaze the skunk. Feel my vibe. Give me 5 on the backhand side. Well, all right then. Well, all right, y'all. I see y'all niggas trying to win. Dying to sin. Liquidate my 4 max, then apply the skin. I put work in. My label should be buying a Benz. Cause with the chrome, I'm swift like the hands on Sharon Stone. Come on. It's about the Skrilla. Metronomes put bitches hoes in silicones, then they pill them. I hang with ghetto hoes that thumbtack they ceiling. Cause when it's time to throw joints, they the ones illin'. I weigh a buck 90 plus tax. Kleptomaniac. Check the change out your glue mouse trap. Low jacks is no match to locate. When I demonstrate, you need 2 Dr. Dre's to phone tap me. Capital D-O. Yo, I keep a dirty piss when I see P-O. Yo, my phone number's 99. Fuck you. My crew swing like Bruce Lee. Noon chucks 2 up 2. No good. To make myself clear, any girl asks for drinks is the biggest chicken in here. Like Run say, this is the way. Def Squad, lock it like that channel on Super Bowl Sunday. Y'all niggas ain't ready for Reggie. I be steady to rob that bank in Philly. Break Coosey out and ask him what the dilly. Pass him the AK so we can get busy. Let's get busy, y'all. Good morning. Evening. 7:15. How's everybody feeling today? Party people, let me hear you in the house. Make some noise. It's a Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. How's everybody feeling out there today? Is this our first time encountering each other on July? No, we spoke on July the 2nd, but let me reinforce, kids, it's July, okay? July is my birthday month. July might as well be a synonym for Kim. When I hear July, I hear my name. it's July. Oh, it's Kim's month. It's my whole fucking month, kids. The entire month from the 1st to the motherfucking 31st. And we doing it big on the 2 to the 8. You hear me? So shout out to all my July babies. Shout out to all the summer babies generally, but to the July babies, a special salute. It's our month, niggas. Let's fucking go. Let us get it. Let us do this. July, hotter than even. Shout out to the god, Stevie Wonder. How y'all feeling? Let me get into the chat. I'm just yammering and stammering. Just to give y'all an indication of how I'm feeling today. I'm actually feeling quite good. Quite good. And I'm very happy to be here today. So my stories are a combination of shall we say, the trivial. There's a tiny bit of how do we call it, frivolity maybe in tonight's show, but then I have some serious jokes because I've been watching this country over the 4th of July holiday. Oh my God, shambles. It's an absolute shambles all the way around. My 4th of July was spent listening to it like it was the motherfucking War of 1812, which, by the way, was fought in proximity to where I live. The British came in over the Anacostia River in the Battle of Bladensburg and beat some patriot ass. Shout out to the British. y'all put in work on them days. We remember the War of 1812. We not sad. Fuck a Star Spangled Banner. So anyway, but it sounded like the motherfucking War of 1812 over here, and I didn't dig it at all. Bagheera also did not dig it. no one dug it, and yet this bullshit examples of patriotism they continue despite how annoying, irritating, triggering, polluting, damaging it is, and it's just representative of this nation, right? Not to mention that the 4th of July happens to be one of the more violent holidays in this country, or holiday periods. Actually, the whole summer is a pretty violent thing here in America. Go figure. I don't know. But well, you know what? I have speculation. Did my phone just die? Well, so much for that. So I didn't realize my phone was dying, and there it goes. So, William, you may have to help me out on the doc, because I smoke a lot of weed. I don't be remembering shit. So I have a good idea of what we got on. Shout out to the chat. What's up, Fire Fam? I appreciate you guys making the time. Thank you all so much. Um, Shout out to Teresa. Teresa, you ran us to some super chats, some super thanks. Thank you so much for that. And I was gonna shout out the other folks who ran us money, but my phone just died in my hand, because that's how it, whatever. That's how it goes. So anyway, fuck it, we gonna get into this thing, guys. Do me a favor, engage with the content. Give us a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to Burn It Down with Kim Brown. You could catch us here every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I know in the headline I was going to mention the Essence Fest, right? Which is something that has been held for the past 30 years in the glorious city of New Orleans, sponsored by Essence Magazine, which is a magazine targeted for Black women, though I do not believe no longer Black owned, right? That's notable in this story we are going to tell. So for decades now, the city of New Orleans has opened its arms to the Essence Music Fest, which has brought in like literally some of the top headliners ever in the history of ever in Black music. Everybody from the greats like Frankie Beverly and Mays, I know, used to infamously shut down the Essence Music Festival. I know Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Who else was up in there? Everybody. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Pick one. Jackson, Jordan, Tyson, every motherfucking body in Black music from the 80s, 90s, and onward would be featured on that Essence Music stage. And I think this year, who was it? Janet, Usher, and some other niggas, and that's great and that's wonderful. This year, however, I noticed a certain crop of complaints about the Essence Music Festival attendees. Okay. Now, this is kind of like an interesting thing, because usually the people that are attending Essence are overwhelmingly Black women. Essence it's almost, I've been to an Essence once. And when I went, I said, I do not think I'm coming back. This feels like a combination of it's everybody, y'all. It's the advanced degrees clicks. It's the GED degree click. Like it's the range. Okay, you're getting a range. Kalechi say a range of Black women out there. But this year, the complaints from some of the vendors and some of the businesses, let me say, less so the businesses, the small Black businesses in New Orleans, which, did I say that Essence brings in $300 million? That's the number I've been hearing repeated, regurgitated over and over. The Essence Festival brings $300 million into the city of New Orleans. That may be true, but there was echoes of Dr. Ball's The Myth and Propaganda of Black Buying Power going off in my brain. Every time I would hear that number, I would hear Jared. I hear Jared, gravelly voice, talking about some, Black buying power is not Black wealth. And I'm like, yeah, that, yeah, all right, right. So on TikTok, as some of you have apparently have complained that I've featured too many TikToks on here, let me just tell you guys, there is a reason. There's a reason y'all is getting TikTok on fucking Burn It Down with Kim Brown, because TikTok, y'all, it's a repository of regular folks. You guys know, if you don't know already, I am obsessed with regular folks. Am I obsessed with politicians? Am I obsessed with pundits? Am I obsessed with celebrities? No. I am obsessed with regular fucking people. Nothing excites me more than to hear regular ass people telling their perspectives and their experiences and their feelings on things. And I know y'all are like, well, we really have a lot of that. Maybe we need less of that. No, I disagree. Because when we have particular corners and segments of the people speaking their perspective, I think it needs to be heard. So we'll cue up the montage of some of the service workers who made some TikToks, and I'm not saying that even the TikToks are representative of the experience of Black service workers in particular in New Orleans who worked this year's Essence Festival. But it tracks. the complaints absolutely track, and the analysis, shall we say, from actual New Orleanians. I have a tendency to defer to the locals when it comes to issues and events that affect them directly. So let us go to New Orleans, everybody, where the Essence Music Festival was just held. And yet some of the workers in New Orleans, who, by the way, I think the tipped hourly wage in New Orleans is just over $2. But then they have the cash and tipped hourly wage combined, if I'm not mistaken about that, that's $7.25. Okay, so let's be clear. We're talking about a low hourly wage for service workers, hospitality workers. That's the minimum wage, but regardless. Anyway, let's hear directly from the folks. Well, let's check it out.
If y'all don't know, I work on Bourbon Street. I am a Bourbon Street bartender and server. Because, I can do it all. Let's talk about it. But, baby, when I tell you these penny pinching ass people in Essence, baby. I don't know. I thought we had all agreed if we don't got it, we ain't going on no trip since the girls been paying for their friends on trips. So, I'm trying to see. You know how I feel for a guest to come to your table and only order a side of fries? What? You mean I got a 6-top with 6 people who only ordered a side of fries? Off with your fucking hate. Secondly, y'all, it's raining. I do not work for no free. Okay? I don't have, I'm not able to get around like I used to get around. And y'all just here, you mean to tell me we spending $350 on food and only tipping $5? It's 13 people, $350 check. Even if it's 6 people and 6 people give you $5, that'll be enough. I don't want everything. I don't want it all. Just a little whoop-a-whoop. A little whoop-a-whoop. Well, not even whoop, what I deserve. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. What the fuck did I tell y'all? My cousin, my auntie, said, yep, they can have it. I'm retired. I told y'all. The aunties with the long dollars that was sustaining Essence from 95, from its inception all the way to the early 2000s, they are no longer interested in coming down here. So what do we have now? We have the motherfuckers, the Cash App cards, the wigs and the baby hairs. No shade to wigs and baby hairs. Before y'all jump on me, this is what the people at the front desk saying. Y'all cards get declined at the front desk. Y'all not spending no money. The ATs was curating order. I told y'all that in my last video last year. The ATs were really trying to learn the history of the city of New Orleans. They booking private tours and shit. They going to them goddamn antique shops on Royal Street and spending money. Okay? They buying antiques and shit. Betsy Ross fucking sewing machine. They taking that bitch back on a plane with them. Okay? They trying to buy Marie Laveau fucking hair wrap. They was spending money. Okay? Long dollars. And I'm not saying we don't have the engineers and the attorneys and the doctors and all of that. But what I am saying is, y'all millennials and some of y'all Gen X, y'all ain't spending money like that. You people in their 30s, 40s, y'all ain't spending money like the aunties was spending money. Some of y'all coming down here with y'all Louis Vuitton on. A lot of these social media influencers just want to take pictures and get content. They are not spending no fucking money. The summer season in the city of New Orleans is slow. These restaurants need you to come in and spend money, especially the black-owned restaurants, okay? That's what we need. We need money. We need y'all to Venmo us directly. So fuck Venmo the city of New Orleans. We broke. We don't have any money. We done rolled out the red carpet. That red carpet, we paying for that red carpet on Afterpay. We don't have no money. Okay? So we need y'all to come here and spend money. Not just be out here fucking taking pictures. Going live and shit. I see these influencers
influencers up and down my timeline. I'm saying y'all need to be out. What y'all in a hotel room? It's 9 o'clock. Y'all ain't at the concert. Go spend some money. We need you to get on a good foot and spend money. Because the 80s and the early 90s, they sustained us. Their people used to tip. The people took care of the valet. They took care of the bellman. They took care of everybody. The waiters and the waitresses. That's what we need. That's what we need, okay? Oh, I love New Orleans. Baby, we need some money. My good cousin reported live from the trap. My cousin said, the way I only earned $12 in tips after 10 hours today. Somebody call 911. Somebody called NOPD. It's going to take them 15 hours to get there. But somebody called NOPD. Somebody called Troop NOLA. Somebody resurrect Johnny Cochran. At this point, cousins, I'm going to do a series called Surviving Essence. And I want all the hospitality workers and all the people in the service industries to tap in and share y'all stories and share what's really going on. Now, again, this is not any shade to any of my cousin influencers in the city of New Orleans who paint our city in a beautiful light, and y'all having a good time, and y'all going to these parties. I cannot reiterate that enough. I am so happy for y'all. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves and have a good time. But for this lady to come on this app and say that she earned $12 after 10 hours today, that should be a felony offense. Do y'all not understand? This is how people make their money. And y'all keep talking about, because last year somebody tried to go, well, a bunch of people tried to go back and forth me in the comment section of my video. Baby, let me tell you, we one band, one sound. If you do not agree with what I got to say, you will be blocked. And your comment will be deleted. Yes, I am that petty. But they try to say, oh, basically they don't have to tip. And then y'all wonder why when y'all run up to these restaurants during Essence Festival, they're closed. Because the management is saying, you know, we're not about to deal with it. Y'all not about to run our servers in the ground and then they go home with $0 dineros, $0 pesos, €0, $0 American dollars, $12. That should be a felony offense. At this point, I am not against even adding the tip into the check. I know some people already do that, and y'all caught up behind that. But I want to hear from the service industry workers, the hospitality industry workers, the Uber drivers. I want to hear from y'all, the vendors. I want to hear from y'all. Y'all tell me y'all surviving Essence stories. Because at this point, y'all voices need to be heard. Y'all are victims. And y'all need to be compensated.
Ooh, not victims. You guys see why I have an obsession with listening to regular people on TikTok. Where else are you going to get that authentic New Orleans accents? Come on. Scroll New Orleans TikTok for that alone, right? But the sister brings up some interesting things here. And it got me to thinking, right? Because I've been on a lot of the sides of where people are taking this conversation. The conversation, of course, being when you are traveling, how well, if at all, do you take care of the service workers, right? Your Uber driver, for your rideshare provider, people at restaurants, people at the bars, places where it is a service industry that has the expectation of the workers surviving off of tips. And I have traveled with people who don't like to tip, which led me to discover that I don't like to travel with people who don't like to tip. I get tipping based off service level, etc. I know a lot of factors can go into tipping, but at the end of the day, this person who is coming to your table to bring you drinks, to bring you food, to refill this, and if they're doing, that at a good level, they deserve some compensation. Now, many argue, well, they deserve compensation either from the state providing them a livable or beyond livable, a thriving wage, absolutely, or from their employer providing them a thriving wage. Yes, I agree with that. And those things need to be put into place. But while we unfortunately still doing this version of capitalism, and unfortunately as adults, when we get to be certain ages, you do learn the norms and mores of Rome. When in Rome, do as Romans. But and I but most importantly, when those servers and hostesses and bartenders look like you should try to do a little as much as possible, and not to, and this is not to again broke shame anybody, because again I have traveled broke. I have traveled broke, but you cannot um you cannot spread that brokenness around, right? That like the brokenness can be a contagion. If one person is broke in the group, then all of a sudden then more people end up broke. And then what happens? How we get into the airport, right? Like but no, the brokenness can be a contagion because other, your travel mates, if they're your friends or even your family members or your significant others, is helping, feed you, transport you, keep you hydrated, etc. But I don't know if that's the best method of being. And not to say that doesn't mean that just because that you don't have money that you shouldn't go places and have experiences. But for trips like this, like if you're headed to Essence to New Orleans and you know that you're going to be going out, you intend on being out on the town, as a woman, we can play certain games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a good chance that depending on, what your outfit looked like that day. Yeah, you might come bump into some dudes that might be, wanting to take you and your friends to go get some drinks or go get something to eat. Yeah, you can do that, but are you gonna be with them niggas in the morning? You gonna see them niggas at breakfast? Like, no, of course not. We have to do this better. The complaints from the workers, I think, are legitimate, and it's something that I think is not just limited to the individual travelers, right? Essence itself has been a bit of a thorn in the side of vendors in particular, street vendors in particular in New Orleans. And it's not just because of Essence, it has to do with an ordinance that the city of New Orleans passed. I think they call it clean zones. Will, if you could cue that up. So the clean zones are designated in the areas in and around, I guess, the convention center or, places where major events are being held to not only discourage, but to make it illegal for street vendors to sell their wares, peddle their either food, merchandise, or whatever. Now, if you've been to New Orleans, you know that the street vendor culture is a thing, right? And has been a thing. It is part of the fabric of walking around, like in and around the French Quarter, in and around the convention center. And for the city to take that away in order to acquiesce to the wants of, in this case, initially it was a Super Bowl, and this package is going to get into it a little bit, but Essence has also taken advantage of these clean zone ordinances to basically weaponize the law against Black people in the city of New Orleans, who themselves are trying to capitalize off of the tourist crowds that are in town by the tens of thousands, right? And Essence is like, nope, actually, we gonna call them people. This package is from last year, but there's a story about what Essence has done to some Black business owners this year at Essence Fest 2024. But let's take a look at this.
Essence Fest filed a lawsuit against some local businesses this weekend, claiming they violated the Clean Zone ordinance. But what is a clean zone? We're clarifying in your breakdown. Essentially, a clean zone is to ensure that smaller events or vendors not affiliated with a major event don't siphon business from that major event or make traffic or security worse. The city ordinance effectively creates a box around an event and regulates commercial activity within that box. Now, this is the Essence Festival Clean Zone as laid out by city ordinance. Take a look here. You can see that it encompasses part of the Marigny, the 7th Ward, Treme, the entire French Quarter, the entire CBD, and it even extends to the levee of the West Bank to Algiers Point. That means no one not affiliated with Essence Fest officially could sell drinks, food, or merchandise on the sidewalks of the streets. They couldn't use Essence Festival trademarks to sell things or promote events, and no other outdoor events or public festivals could take place. Now, one city leader told us that these clean zone ordinances came to be during the Super Bowl because the city didn't want small vendors selling Super Bowl merchandise outside of the dome. They're controversial now, and they were controversial then. The ACLU actually sued the city in 2013, saying the clean zone violated the First Amendment, and the city did relax some of what that ordinance contained. Councilmember Freddie King proposed this clean zone ordinance for Essence, but then referred us to the mayor, and the mayor's office did not answer our questions. Per the ordinance, the Essence Fest clean zone lifts Monday at midnight.
Can you imagine? Like, I know we are all scattered across the country and even some instances across the globe. Let me just imagine, like, the motherfucking something in the water festival that they had here in DC a couple of years ago, or the Broccoli City. Like, nobody can come to Chinatown. Like not nobody can come, but nobody can do shit in the whole fucking Chinatown Penn Quarter. Like, can you? The audacity to say that nobody can sell drinks, merchandise, be on the sidewalk selling any sort of anything, food, merch, the souvenirs. Nobody can be on the sidewalk selling anything in all of Tremé, in the whole French Quarter. Damn. Like, when you think about it, that is likely that's thousands of dollars easily being lost from the pockets of local Louisianans, people who are residents of New Orleans, who again count on these big tourist gatherings like Mardi Gras, like the conventions, like Essence, in order to make their money and survive, especially as the folks we heard the women tell us earlier during the summer months when it's slow, right? Crazy. And keep in mind, New Orleans has been black governed for some time now, right? It was like, I don't know who in the hell was mayor in 2013. Who was that? Ray Nagin? was Nagin? Was he the mayor? Close to, right? But regardless, Negroes was involved in the mayor's office, on the city council. Black people passed that to placate the white NFL for the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, other brands such as Essence, who are not themselves black owned, but targeted towards black people, also weaponize ordinances like that target the local folks and use it to their advantage. And something similar happened this year, where there was an event scheduled at a black bookstore outside of the clean zone, as best as I am aware. But Essence sent like a cease and desist to the organizers and planners of this particular event, got their event shut down. It even evoked a response from a New Orleans city council person voicing their displeasure, like, wow, Essence, this is what we doing. This is what we doing. I don't know, everybody. Like, Essence to me always seemed like, well, when I say always, again, the one time that I went, because again, I don't know where I fit on the class scale. You know, when we really examine what middle class is, especially if you do the numbers, I do not think I qualify as middle class. But I got a tree-lined streets education. So I don't know. I don't know where the fuck I felt. Low. Low. And it felt that way when I was in New Orleans for Essence Fest, because again, to me, I'm seeing all the advanced degrees. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing all the sorority members. and I said, oh, me and my friends, that's not us. Like, you know, we are not that, dare I say, sedity. And I don't wish bad on the Essence Festival, but what I do want the Essence Festival is to do better and to stop doing the white folks, you know, basically the black bougie aspirational dreams. You know what I'm saying? To have these concert ticket prices in the hundreds of dollars. The concerts are over 3 nights. Good luck affording going to the show all 3 nights and being able to stay somewhere in proximity to the to the event venue, because transportation is expensive. Food is reasonably priced in New Orleans, but again, it's a pricey thing. So, and even to get down there, you got to spend some money. But when you get down there, you have to also you have to support the workers, y'all. You have to support the restaurant workers, the hostesses, the bartenders, the people that are out there hustling, mainly because you are there, right? They have turned up to come to work and show up because you are in town, right? So do what you can for them, or don't waste their time. Don't waste their labor. Don't go sit your ass down in a booth, you and 5 friends, and order 6 orders of fries and sit there for an hour and a half while this sister, brother, GNC person working in this food establishment could have been making some money from some other folks who may have been spending some money. And I'm sorry if that comes off as broke shaming. I'm not trying to broke shame. I'm trying to stand with the workers. And yes, we should all stand with the workers against against the state and against, you know, the big restaurant industry. The what is that? What is it? What's the acronym for the restaurant? The RAB, Restaurant Association, something. The shit that Herman Cain used to be head honcho of or part of. The big restaurant lobby that has worked very hard to keep the hourly wages of restaurant workers low, to work hard to keep it at $2 and some change for tipped employees who don't want to, you know, make restaurant positions full-time and salaried with benefits, etc. So that's who we need to be standing against. But tip people, God damn it. Can I give off one last essence gripe? So I didn't pay that much attention to the lineup. Was it Janet and Usher this year? I hope I'm getting my years correct. I really don't know. I did see the Cash Money reunion, Lil Wayne, Birdman. I guess these niggas didn't want to be on stage together. I'm like, but y'all used to kiss each other on the mouth. What's the problem? Y'all can share a microphone. Y'all used to kiss each other on the lips. I don't see the issue here. But one piece of virality from one of the performances at the Essence Music Festival came from legendary rapper Busta Rhymes. Bust. Flip Mode Squad, right? Busta Rhymes, Flip Mode Squad, right? And Busta got on stage. Did you guys see this already? Have you heard this? Busta got on stage and cussed the crowd out. and it was eerily reminiscent of the spiel that the National Cannabis Festival crowd in Washington, D.C. on 420 received from the Wu-Tang and from Redman about what the fuck is going on here. Like, what is really going on here? This is a rap show. This is a concert. Why is everybody sitting the fuck down? Why are there so many goddamn phones in the air? How come nobody is putting their hands where my eyes can see? You know, are y'all really in the place to be? Busta had questions, and I want you guys to listen to the rant that Busta Rhymes unleashed on the Essence Music Festival audience. Let's take a listen.
Y'all look like y'all tired. You motherfuckers ain't ready. I don't give a fuck how many seats is empty in this bitch. Everybody that's here, get the fuck up. Sir and miss, thank you. Excuse me, brother. Don't start with motherfucking me today. Fuck going on? What the fuck going on? Hey yo, fuck them camera phones too. Let's get back to interacting like humans. Put them weird ass devices down. I ain't from that era. Them shits don't control the soul. Fuck your phone. Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I will point every last one of y'all out until y'all asses is up. 33 years of doing this shit, I ain't used to niggas sitting down at my show. I don't give a fuck. All age groups, get your ass up now. I see you, beautiful queen. Get up too. Fuck going on? Everybody up top too. Get your big head asses up. Look, the reason why there will be zero tolerance for bullshit energy in here is because this is my first time in New Orleans at the fucking 30-year anniversary of the Essence Festival. This my first time, this my brother's first time, and it's my other brother's first time.
That's right.
Make me feel like we home.
Hey, yo, if you want to turn it up, say turn it up. Say turn it up. Turn up. Turn up.
Oh, okay. Bus. What to say, yo, I felt that. I felt that because I experienced that. I told you guys, the National Cannabis Festival, it was the wildest shit ever. Here I am, big 45 years old, Wu-Tang and Redman. You niggas know I don't even come out the motherfucking house. You knew goddamn well I was coming out for Wu-Tang and Redman. Came out the house and every goddamn thing to go see Wu-Tang and Redman, just for the motherfucking Wu-Tang to come on, everybody minus the jizza. And it's 16 rows of motherfucking phones, niggas. It's phones. It's phones. It's phones. And my niggas is on stage. They can't even see they real fans rocking with them in the back. Like, we throwing up the W's, you know what I'm saying? We out here putting our hand. Yo, the cell phone folks was taking up too much space, okay? And Busta Rhymes definitely echo the sentiment again. I've heard repeated this year from Gen X rappers of my generation who are used to a certain energy level and crowd participation level, specifically at rap shows. And I be in confusion because when I see the clips of y'all little nut motherfucking Gen Z and young ass millennial motherfuckers, when y'all at the goddamn Travis Scott show, oh, y'all be jumping up and down and shit. You get it. Okay, so y'all do know how to participate at the rap show. So why, when you come to see the old rappers, y'all stand there and look stupid? Why do y'all stand there and look stupid? This is what needs to happen. We understand, okay? Gen X, we understand. We the creators and innovators of this rap shit, of this hip-hop culture. All the youths have heard about Busta Rhymes and heard about Wu-Tang and heard about Redman. These are the greats. These are the legends. You know, go see them if you get a chance, right? The problem is y'all are going in there as spectators and not as fans, okay? And those rappers aforementioned are used to seeing their fans in the jam, right? But the problem is when the little whippersnappers come in there to ogle and gawk, y'all like to be up close. Why? So you can get the good shot, right? Problem is, y'all are taking up space for the real rap fans to be able to get up close and participate. Like, the rappers of my time fed off of the audience as much as the audience fed off of them. I can't tell y'all how many times I've seen Redman stage dive, okay, and crowd surf, right? Like, and again, he's my favorite for a reason. No other rapper have I ever seen will literally tell the audience as a call and response, say, fuck you, Redman. Fuck you, Redman. Say, fuck you, Redman. Fuck you, Redman. Who does that? Reggie Noble. That's who. And if you do not know that call and response, Red is confused, right? The Wu-Tang is confused. Busta Rhymes, as you see, was in deep confusion. And the response I saw online from some of the younger folks, like, well, that was just really uncalled for. He didn't have to cuss the audience out like that. Kids, do y'all not know y'all Gen X aunties and uncles? Do we strike you as people that give a fuck about your little feelings, about whether or not y'all get cussed out? Come on. We need y'all to toughen up just a little bit. We know we're dealing with some sensitive younger folks out here, and that's fine. I'm here to be sensitive to the needs and to the expressed wants of communication and engagement that younger generations demand, which I actually dig. I'm like, yeah, demand that shit. But here's my demand. I need you little niggas to go stand the fuck over there, okay? I need y'all to go over there to the side. You don't know the songs, you don't know the lyrics, you don't know the words, you don't know the right time to put your hands in the air, you don't know the right times to do the call and response. Yes, you should be out here consuming the rap greats, but should you be in the fucking way? No. Y'all niggas need to go stand to the side, please and thank you. Appreciate it. So Shout out to Busta Rhymes. Shout out to the Wu-Tang. Shout out to Redman, you know, the Red and the Meth. And shout out to all my old rap heads, especially the rappers themselves. Fellas and ladies, your audience hasn't left you. We are just being boxed out, literally. we are being boxed out of the paint. We can't get nowhere near the basket. You know what I'm saying? We in the backcourt. You know what I'm saying? We out there, but we being boxed out by 35 and 30-year-olds with cell phones and shit who trying to go viral and whatnot. So anyway. I'm sorry. I wish I could be in the chat right now. Let me take a break. Oh shit, I see money. Look, the sentiment. Look, it's coming. Listen, kids, my younger ones, and I know I got my nieces and nephews in here, and I love you all to pieces. And I know y'all, I'm just trying to teach y'all rap show etiquette, like old head rap show etiquette. If you're not going to participate, like if you're not going to do call and response, if you're not going to like know the lyrics to the songs, just go stand over, just go scoot over there and let your aunties and uncles down front so the auntie and uncle rappers on stage can get the symbiotic energy that they have been accustomed to getting for literally, as Busta said, 33 years. Redman said on stage 25 years. He's like, yo, I've been coming to DC for 25 years. I ain't never seen y'all niggas sleep like this. And it wasn't the niggas would sleep. It was that all the real live niggas was in the back. You know what I'm saying? All the cell phone wielding youngsters was in the front, not knowing the goddamn words and being in the motherfucking way. Anyway, let me relax. Will, I see money running. I see money being ran right now. Pop up here and let us acknowledge our benefactors, please and thank you.
What time is it? Question mark. Okay. That's the handle. Shout out to them. They ran us some bucks. Everything you are saying is right now about Bus and the Essence Fest is true, brought up in the BX Harlem with hip hop.
What's up?
Shout out to yo.
And wow, what's up? That's it, Will.
Oh, also Anna Hart just ran us some bucks.
Thank you, Anna.
Just now. Support sessions this Saturday. Links will be on the Patreon Discord and the community tab of BIDWKB. Much love to the Fire Fan topic, continuing the conversation about gender and more. Happy birth month, Kim. She care about you.
I know, and I care about Anna, Mama Lorraine, Learn Life.
Shout
Abby.
out to Anna Hart and Mama Lorraine too. Love them.
I'm so glad that we actually had a holiday weekend to start the month because we are right here at the Disability Support Sesh weekend. Every second Saturday of every month at 5 p.m. we do a disability support sesh that has been facilitated by Anna Hart, Mama Lorraine, and Abby for 2 years now. It's a unique, dare I say, a unique space. So if you are a disabled person, disabled adjacent, if you're a caregiver, if you're interested in actually knowing or finding out perspectives and such from non quote able-bodied people, do we still say that able-bodied or whatever? We're working on terms. I'm working. Let me think for myself. I'm working on terms. Yes, y'all, because disability affects 1 out of 5, or as some speculate after COVID, because of long COVID, 1 out of 4 people in this country. If you are not currently disabled, that's awesome. You should enjoy that while it lasts. you should soak all of that up right now, because, and this is not to, I'm not trying to speak negative on anybody, but it's just the facts of life, right? You can become disabled through chronic disease, a severe diagnosis, a catastrophic injury, car accident, old age. Like, disability is coming for us all in some way, shape, or form, if it hasn't already put his foot in your ass. Like it currently has its foot in my ass at the moment. Like my disability stays with a foot in my ass. Some days it's a size 7, some days it's a 12.5. Okay. Either way, it's never fun. It's never fun. So the disability support sesh is a space that, we can sort of not only commiserate, but communicate and really get the perspective. Like to my knowledge, I don't think anybody that has participated in the support sesh has my exact disability. Like I think everybody is coming with this with differing shit. So it's interesting for me personally to hear how people with chronic illness, with different injuries, how their disability impacts their everyday life and how they engage with their social and familial spaces beyond that. So tune in this Saturday. What's the date of this Saturday? I have no idea. My phone died. This fucking Saturday. This goddamn Saturday, 5 p.m. I post the information on the Burn It Down with Kim Brown community section. Anna puts it in the Discord, and it is also on patreon.com/BIDWKB. You can find the information on Saturday. I don't put it up early because what y'all think this is? What you think? What you think? I'm organizing shit? I put that shit up the day of because that's when the papers is due. When do I start the paper? The night before. When is the paper due? Tomorrow morning. Okay. So anyway, that's just how I roll. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. It's the Tuesday edition. Nigga, I done forgot. My phone done died. I'm trying to think of what's on the dock. I think I know what's on the dock. So, and none of this, I only actually have like one news story. I don't count. Well, maybe the essence was a bit of a news. This also is not a news story. It's just something I wanted to mention. I saw this shit and I wanted to talk about it. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown every Tuesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us places around the internet, BIDWKB, Instagram, Facebook, blah, de blah. So over the 4th of July weekend, 12 people died. Isn't that crazy? Now, in the scheme of things, in a country of 330 million, I'm sure you're like, well, 12 people dying is probably not a lot. No, it isn't. Statistically. However, one of those people died in a most spectacular fashion. Let me take you to Summerville, South Carolina. Picture it. Motherfucking July 4th weekend. And this man is piss fucking drunk. So, a South Carolina man died after he placed firecrackers on his head and lit the firecracker himself and thought it was a great idea. Until what, y'all? Until his dumbass died. And the shit was such a perfect encapsulation of, I think, where this country is right now. Because America is going to capsize from the inside. Karate Man bleed on the inside, okay? America is going to fuck up from the inside. Niggas is worried about Russia, China. Why? the dumb assery in this country is enough to capsize us all. And even if we have to look at individual anecdotal examples of that, let it serve as a greater representation, a more broader representation of the level of arrogance in this country, the level of anti-intelligence in this country, the lack of problem-solving skills in this country, the lack or refusal to anticipate consequences. Why? Because we felt like, not we, dumbassery felt as though the liquid courage and the patriotism was going to be enough to shield them from, physics, biology, in the way that extreme temperatures interact with human tissue, right? you know, none of that fucking mattered to this individual when they decided to do this 100% voluntarily. So this is the local package. This isn't the CBS national news. A South Carolina man found himself dead. No, 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 no. This is we about to hear from the police, maybe from a witness. They was on the scene down there in Summerville, South Carolina. And if we have any South Cacians or South Carolinians, however you identify, it's all accepted. We got any South Cacians? Where is Somerville? What kind of community is this? Because I'm making certain assumptions about the race of this individual, though I have not seen now a photo. However, certain assumptions, guess the race, if you will, is rattling around in my head, and I've made certain assumptions here. So let's see if y'all can make some assumptions, and maybe if we have any South Carolinians amongst us, they can tell us what kind of community Somerville is. Well, let's roll the package.
Investigators in South Carolina are still trying to piece together what happened after they say a person shooting fireworks was killed by the explosives. As Raymond Owens tells us tonight, the Dorchester County coroner says the death was easily preventable.
Approximately 10:20 last night, we received a call, or the Sheriff's Department and EMS received a call about an injury suffered by an individual while engaging in shooting fireworks.
This happened on Cottonwood Drive in the Crestwood subdivision. The man who was involved in this incident was 41-year-old Alan Ray McGrew. There was nothing emergency crews could do to help him when they arrived. He was pronounced dead at 11:10 p.m.
Well, according to witnesses and family members at the scene, the decedent was standing in the roadway on Cottonwood Drive and had on a large top hat and put the firework device on top of that, lit it, put it on top of his head, and it exploded, and he suffered a massive head injury.
The police report says McGrew started drinking at 6 p.m. and his wife tried to get him to not put the firework on his head, but she said he was trying to show off.
These kinds of incidents are 100% preventable, as you know. Unfortunately, some bad judgment was used in this case, and we're certainly sorry for that, and we're certainly send our sympathies to the family of this individual.
Just awful. Well, that was Raymond Owens reporting. Officials say the victim had placed the firework on his head when it went off. The death is still under investigation.
Under investigation for why? Why is the death of, checks notes, 41-year-old Alan McGrew? Why is this under investigation? Does somebody think someone tricked Alan into putting that shit on his fucking head? You think Alan was manipulated? Does Alan strike you as the kind of man who could be forced into doing something that he didn't want to do? Clearly, his wife had no influence on this man's actions, okay? And I am calling a bit of bullshit and shenanigans on the report, detail indicating that Mr. McGrew started drinking at 6 p.m. and this incident happened about 10:20 p.m. I'm calling bullshit on all of that. You think that man started drinking at 6 o'clock in the evening? Absolutely no. Al had been drinking all motherfucking day. Alan had been drinking all day, and you heard the coroner, the spokesperson, said the wife said that why did he do that? Because he was trying to show off with your drunk, dumb ass. Now listen, kids, I've been drunk lots of times. I assure you. and I've done some stupid things whilst intoxicated. That's why I don't drink any longer, okay? I'm not a fun drunk. I'm a belligerent, mean drunk. And those kinds of people shouldn't be drinking. So that's why I stopped. But I assure you, self-preservation usually was close to the top of of my checklist of my self-maintenance checklist when inebriated. How am I going to arrive alive? How am I going to make sure that I get to where I'm supposed to be, home or otherwise, safe and in one place? Self-preservation, right? And I guess it's because maybe I had a decent foundational level of K through 12 education. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a genius. I didn't take physics and shit. I probably failed chemistry, but I know what a firework burns at, even if I don't know the exact degree Fahrenheit or Celsius. I know that shit burns hot. That shit burn hotter than the fucking oven in my kitchen, right? It's like the kitchen oven gets up to 500 degrees. I know the firework burns hotter than that. And I've been know that. I didn't find that out in my 40s. I knowed that like for a long time. How come this 41-year-old man didn't deduce that he had a top hat on his head, not a fucking Kevlar helmet? and how much y'all want to bet it was an Uncle Sam top hat? How much y'all want to bet? But throw money on it. Throw something down on that. You know it was a fucking top hat, because you know why? Because who overdoes it on fucking July 4th? That's right, the whites. That is correct. That is correct. Only nigga I ever seen in a motherfucking top hat was goddamn Apollo Creed. And guess what? He rocked that shit, okay? Alan McGrew of Somerville, South Carolina was not rocking that shit. That's why he felt he had to get super spicy with it and throw some fireworks on it. But Alan did not realize that his actual skull, that is only, ensconced in a relatively thin layer of skin with lots of blood vessels just right there under the surface. Not to mention your motherfucking noggin, nigga. Your actual brain is on your head. So this nigga said, all right, cool. Watch this, everybody. I'm gonna put 3,000 degrees of intense instant flame on top of my skull. Watch this. Let's see what happens. And when the coroner, okay, listen, any medical examiner, even most first responders, EMTs, police, firefighters, coroners, etc., these folks have all seen very horrific things. They've seen people injured and maimed and killed in very grotesque and explicit ways. When that coroner, the man in the package, when he said, and in the way he said it, Mr. McGrew suffered a massive head injury. You know that shit was massive, dog. Like, that man's head might not even still be connected to his shoulders, shorty. So I said that, why did I bring this up? Not just because it's graphic and it's extreme and it smacks of, elite level of stupidity. It's so America, everybody. It's so dripping in ignorance and easily avoidable catastrophe, right? This country could avoid so many of its own catastrophes and then catastrophes that it imposes abroad if it just applied some common sense. But why doesn't it apply common sense? Well, because it's arrogant. It knows every fucking thing. It's all, at the same time as it's drenched and dripping with ignorance, it's also soaked through with hubris. Right? Like, America as a concept, as an entity, as an empire, as a people, we're so dumb and so confident in our dumbness to the point that we will not we, because I ain't that goddamn dumb. Okay, I might be a little dumb. I ain't that fucking dumb. But that motherfucker just did not think that he would be injured or that he would die or that anything bad would happen to him. Why? Because he's drunk, white, male, Southern, in America on 4th of July. And Jesus loves him, right? Until he found out that Jesus, in fact, does not fuck with dumbasses. And here's the thing that you know who else does not fuck with dumbasses? I'm feeling really bad for this man's wife. Lord, I hope she's not a cracker. I really, one of my pet peeves, I do not like to give empathy to whites that end up being racist, because then I'm like, God damn it, I just wasted I just wasted my fucking thoughts and prayers on a goddamn racist. Ain't just a bitch. But I'm feeling empathy for this wife. I feel empathy for the wife because number one, she tried to tell that dumb motherfucker, right? Try to tell his dumb ass. Try to tell his dumb ass, and he did the shit anyway. Second of all, what do you tell the insurance company? When you try to redeem his life insurance policy, I'm assuming this because even dumb white people got their affairs in order. Okay, it's amazing how that happens, right? Like motherfuckers with zero common sense got all their assets in the trust and all of they got all the irrevocable shit. They got all that shit together, but these niggas do not know right or wrong when it comes to putting fireworks on their head and lighting them shits, right? So certainly this man has some sort of estate, I would imagine. How do you present this to the insurance company? You think the insurance company is paying out on a drunk motherfucker lighting fireworks off his head? Look at how this man has left his family possibly high and dry in every way imaginable, taking himself away from his wife. I don't know if they had children or not, but his wife is not going to see nothing because they don't pay out for being a stupid asshole. Nationwide is not on your side when you set fireworks off of your own head in something that is 100% preventable. And much like the collapse of this country, like if America would actually stop causing fuckery and stop being so drenched in its arrogance and its hubris and its violence that it doesn't just impose upon itself and its own citizens, that it likes to spread around globally, America's downfall could also possibly be 100% preventable. But no, America, with the election of either Biden or Trump in November, is going to do the same action as putting a firework on his head and lighting that motherfucker and blowing our fucking head off. Happy 4th of July. All right, hold on, let me take a break. I don't know why I keep reaching for my phone. This motherfucker is no longer with us. It is muerto. It is muerte. Mi teléfono es muerte. Y'all pour out a little liquor. This is for my homies. This is for my iPhone 12. See you when I get to the block. What's up? Is somebody a new member, Will? What's up, chat? How many people we got in here, Will? What the folks them doing?
139 altogether.
Is that right? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, welcome.
NJ devising from Twitter. What's up? This your first Twitter comment?
Yo, what's up? What's up? NJ devising, what's up?
Well, not your first. I was the first one, but NJ devising the second.
Nigga, you and the ear doctor need to hang out, nigga.
Mhm.
Y'all the same nigga, but go ahead.
The text. Yeah, we got it.
You're right.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, that's it. Okay, thanks. That's everybody. Hey, what's up, Twitter? At Burning Down KB. I know I don't tweet anymore, though I did tweet to make the announcement of the achievement unlocked, kids. We made the goal for Ricky Ryan's Revolutionary Ride fundraiser. Fire fam, I want to thank you all first. Can I thank you guys first? Because we first announced this fundraiser here, right here. And I think y'all was the first dollars, I think. Regardless, y'all sent money. Fire fam sent money. The remixers sent money, even though we have a lot of fire remixers in here. Everybody sent money. Like almost 100 people sent donations. Everybody, $5,000 was raised in a month's time. I am grateful. I am speechless. I feel as though there is a lesson in here to be learned from by Ricky and by myself. Like, I think there's a lesson that we could take away here, right? Because a lot of times when bad shit happens or shit goes wrong or you have some misfortune, you know, people will come, oh, what's the lesson? What did you learn? What was your takeaway? Okay, cool. But what happens when good shit happens, right? When a positive response and reaction is received, when you put out a request to the universe and the community, and the response that you hope for is actually the response that you got. Like, what's the lesson there, everybody? Like, there is a lesson there. So I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna think about this shit. I'm gonna come back to y'all with my lesson. I've learned a lesson, and I will articulate it later. So thanks to everybody that ran the fundraiser some bucks. So here's the next steps, everybody. We're gonna get Ricky a revolutionary ride. The goal is to get her something clean and reliable, something that she does not have to run to the shop at all. All she has to do is put gas in the motherfucker and go. That's it. Like, that's the goal. And to throw some bucks on top of that so Ricky can afford some insurance. Because insurance in the DMV, it ain't cheap, beloveds. Okay. It is not cheap. So you guys made that happen. And with $5,000, I think we can achieve all of those goals. So you guys stay tuned, because, you know, now I don't know if Ricky's going to tell you. I'm not going to tell y'all what the ride is, because, you know, niggas is crazy out here. Y'all can't be, not y'all per se, but, you know, haters. We don't want the haters, you know, rolling up on our sis. But if she wants to tell y'all what she gets when she gets it, she could do that. But I'm not going to tell y'all. I'll give y'all an idea. But I'm going to put the money to where it's supposed to go, kids. Trust y'all, me. You know, I would never scam my folks. I would scam racist whites tonight if I could. I would have scammed the racist whites yesterday, last year, 10 years ago, if I was able. Y'all, my folks, absolutely never. Absolutely never. The racist whites, susceptible. Definitely susceptible to a scamming. But not my folks, never that. So anyway, we'll keep y'all posted. Shout out. What's up to our moderators live and direct? What's going on, Courtney to SLP? What's going on, Latif? Peace to Latif. What's going on to Atala Hackna, my son? And everybody that's checking in, thank you guys so much for being here. If you're watching on Twitch, hey, I got something for y'all tomorrow for Kim's Twitch Turn Up. Thank you guys for muddling through last week's Kim's Twitch Turn Up. We did the Rat Pack, or I did a Rat Pack album. I will do the Rat Pack again because I'm a big fan of Frank Sinatra and crew. They do make racist and homophobic jokes throughout their set. You know, I guess they were men of their time, regardless. Frank can sing. I love Frank Sinatra's voice. So anyway, we'll do that again. Not sure what tomorrow's theme is going to be, but tune in and follow at BIDWKB for Kim's Twitch Turn Up starting sometime tomorrow evening between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern. So I believe this is my last story. Do me a favor, everybody. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown right here on YouTube, BIDWKB, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, different places. So what's interesting about this election is the call from the Democrats, especially about making sure that we preserve our democracy, that this whole rhetoric about democracy being eviscerated if Donald Trump were to be reelected and if Joe Biden were to lose the election is all that. It's all rhetorical hogwash. It's nonsense. It's some shit to light a fire under would-be voters. We don't live in a democracy right now. If you think Trump is going to usher in fascism, no. I mean, he might usher in a version of fascism that differs from the current version that we have now. But from where I sit, women have lost access to reproductive rights. Black people have constantly had uneven and shaky access to the ballot box. And truthfully, under this so-called democracy, non-white people have never had the opportunity to live without the fear of racist violence. And let me take you guys to Manville, Texas. This story that came out of Manville, Texas caught my attention because I saw an activist whose work that we've actually featured here, or rather his words. His name, I don't think he's a doctor, but his name is Quanell X. Brother Quanell out of Houston. Now I've showed y'all Quanell X before on here because Quanell X in Houston, he is on everybody's fucking neck, dog. Like he is on white folks' neck, he is on black folks' neck. Like Quanell don't seem to play that shit. And from a distance, right? I don't know this man. I don't know what organization he works with. But every time I catch this brother talking and I'm tuning into some local H-Town news and Quanell is on there, Cornell is giving somebody the business, okay? And Cornell's gonna play a part in this, but let me brief you up to the story, okay? So Manville, Texas. Manville. Is it Houston or is it fucking Dallas? Texas is so goddamn big, I get confused. It's a suburb in one of them big Texas cities, okay? And Will, if we could go to the news package first, because this was a story that bubbled up over the 4th of July holiday, though the family that is the victim in this story has been experiencing this racial harassment for over a year, according to them. And some of the harassment you guys should pay attention to. But the harassment is targeted towards children, right? Towards kids. And that's where I want us to pick up the story. So, Will, I believe this is Fox 26, Houston, Texas. There we go. It is Houston. I'm sorry. So, yeah, this is the package. And then I have some more details after the package run. So let's take a look.
A Manville man accused of using racially charged tactics to intimidate his neighbor, and now community activists are demanding action from officials. Fox 26's Jade Fleury is joining us live in Manville here this afternoon with some details on exactly what's happening down there. Jade.
Kat Dukeman tells us that her neighbor has been harassing her and her family for over a year and a half now. She says that he sent his dogs to intimidate her sons, blasted commercial-grade lights at her house throughout the night, and in the most recent incident, she says he even used a noose to threaten her son.
Nobody should have to deal with this. My kids should not have to deal with this. They should not have to be raised next to this.
A Manville mother is speaking out after she says her family has been targeted by a neighbor with racially charged behavior.
He hung the noose up right after. I called the police about the dog this last time.
And then he put 2 nooses, not 1, 2 nooses in the tree, and told this family, this is for your little boy.
Dukeman, who has 2 black sons, says when she called Manville police about the nooses, they claimed there was nothing they could do because it was a freedom of speech.
What kind of man uses racial hate and bigotry to harass a small child?
Despite pleas of help from the mother, her calls haven't gotten any response from officials.
If something was to happen to him, because I don't want it to get to that point. And that's what I've been trying to do this whole time, was be proactive.
No one within the city's administration, including law enforcement, has done anything whatsoever to help and assist this family for over a year.
Fox 26 did try to approach the man to get his side of the story, but we were told to back off. We're blurring his face because he has not been charged with a crime.
We deserve better as a people, as a nation, yes. And this mother deserves better with her family who live on this block.
The activists are calling for the district attorney's office to get involved in the incident. We did reach out to Manville PD about the incident, but they have not gotten back to us. Reporting from Manville, Jade Fleury, Fox 26.
So, guys, I want you to think about that. Think about, for the parents especially, or even if you're child free, imagine if you were a parent or you had, care of your niece or nephew or whoever, whatever. You're dealing with small children that you are tasked to take care of. And some fucking idiot across the street is going to throw up a symbol on their property, targeting the children in your care, right? Nooses. In the United States of America, the noose has one meaning, right? One meaning. And not to say that only Black people were lynched and hung, but that is the widely accepted and known and the most prevailing symbol for the noose. Is it was an instrument of terror and violence and murder targeted towards Black communities for hundreds of years, right? So there's no ambiguity in a white man putting not one but two nooses on his property and pointing to them and letting the children know that these nooses are for them. But the democracy here, what's the democracy? What is the democracy we're trying to preserve? Oh, see, you understand, the racist white man has the democratic right to freedom of speech, says the police, right? That's the democracy that America is. That's whose democracy America has always and only stood up for and represented, was the freedom for white folks, white men in particular, to be able to dominate and terrorize literally everybody else. It doesn't even matter if he's terrorizing other whites. You know, I want us to actually go to the city of Manville's recent town hall meeting or city council meeting that took place on July 1st. What even drove me there? When I was looking at the packages, I look at a bunch of different stories. If I see a story, I try to get, the as many angles of the story are as available. And one of the packages said that the mother had spoken recently at the city of Manville City Council meeting, and I went and looked for it. And I want to play it because it's very revealing. And it doesn't start with the mother, actually. It starts with the grandfather of these little boys, of these little Black boys, okay? Like this man, this white man that you guys are about to hear sounds every bit like a good old boy. Like I wasn't even sure when he started to speak about what the children or the experiences the children had gone for. I'm like, wait a minute, he's talking about the Black kids. I was confused because he is a good old boy. He ain't just giving good old boy. He is a good old boy. But you hear this white man really struggle with naming the racism. I don't even think he says the word racism. I don't even think he mentions the race of his grandchildren, the ones that are being harassed and targeted by this fucking racist piece of shit that lives across the street from them, which to me is so emblematic of how hard it is for white folks, some white folks, most white folks, to not even, not only speak about racism, but to acknowledge it at all, and let alone to name it. Like this man he did not want to say the word racism, but you can hear, and you guys are about to hear this. I know I'm giving it a lot of lead up, but you're going to hear the frustration, the exasperation, the confusion from this man as to why he and his family, his daughter and his grandsons, cannot get any sort of help from law enforcement. Like he just doesn't get it. So let's I think his name is Mr. George or Mr. Steven or something. And I started, so these people give out their whole addresses, even though this is already on the internet. I would prefer not to not to put people's whole ass addresses out there. So I'm hoping at the point that we start here, it's after this man has already said his name and his address. But know that this is the grandfather of the biracial boys that are being targeted. So let's start there. And Will, can you take me off? Okay.
It's been going on for months. We've been to Mississippi Road, Manville, Texas. It's the first time I've ever done this, so I apologize if I not exactly in protocol or whatever. Anyhow, we've been having some quite a bit of trouble with our neighbor across the street, and for a while now. It's been going on for months. We've been we've had extremely bright lights, white lights shown at our house at night. Been to the police department on 4 different occasions. I have, and basically I've been told there's nothing they can do about it. And I even had one officer tell me, "Well, what do you want us to do about it?" Well, I put a stop to it somehow, some way. There's got to be something done. This man's tormented my daughter, my grandsons. He's allowed his dog to chase after my grandson. My grandson's crying, running into the house. He's got a noose hanging from a tree out there now, and I've been told that that the police department has said, well, that's freedom of speech. I don't see how that's freedom of speech, having a noose hanging off a doggone tree. And people, that's just not right. He's pulled guns on the neighbors' girls next door there. He's pulled gun on well, Miss Eunice, she's passed away now, but pulled gun on Charlie's wife. He's pulled a gun on his son-in-law, and I mean, I don't. This just getting out of hand here, and I don't know why there's not something that can be done about this. I mean, it kind of came to a head last Sunday night, and 4 police cars showed up. I mean, he was out in the street. Not only did he have a bunch of white lights shining on the house once again, he's out in the middle of the street with a handheld white spotlight along with his dog. That just, I don't know. It's just not right. I don't know what can be done about this, but it's just not right. But I mean, my own son, who's a half a world away, serving our country in the Navy, was ready to come home, take leave, and come home to help us with this problem. And that's not something he should have to worry about. He's got more things to worry about than this. Anyway, thank y'all for your time.
Wix gives you.
Okay. So that's the grandfather. And you guys, I kind of feel, I mean, I kind of feel for, sir, say the words. There is a racist across the street that is harassing my black grandchildren. That is why this is happening. That is the reason. That is the only reason that they are experiencing all this harassment, is because there are black children living in his home. Okay. And you guys hear all of the instances in which he named, in which the police have showed up and have been able or have done absolutely fuck all, because the police are not there to serve the interest of, pardon my French, niggas and nigga lovers. Okay. The police are there to make sure that that racist white man with the 2 nooses hanging from his tree, who is pointing guns at every fucking body in the neighborhood, who is letting his dog run wild, who is aiming lights, commercial grade, into his neighbors' homes, his rights need to be protected. Okay. That's whose rights that the police are there to protect, even versus other white folks, because white people may not say this aloud anymore, but they did. And they probably still do, depending on the company. But there's pure white, right? And then there's, the lesser whites, y'all Southern whites, the y'all Spanish and the Italians and y'all Sicilians, especially, because we know that the Africans came over. So the Nordic whites look at y'all Southern whites. I know this ain't news. This should not be news that's coming from me. But at the lower societal hierarchy of the whites, when we're just talking about whites, the whites that mix with blacks, down here. Y'all down there with the Irish. Y'all way down there. You can't be mixing with black people. It'd be nigga lovers. That's against the rules, okay? And you cede some elements of your white privilege when you do so. Listen, look at our white friends who are in partnerships, romantic or otherwise, with black folks. They'll tell you, you don't get all your full your full range of white privilege when you have non-black people. Now, the whites get all of that privilege when they're by themselves and with their white families and with their white friends. Yes, but as soon as you devalue your whiteness by showing up in public with non-white folks, you think the police is helping you? No. So anyway, I want us to hear from the mom, because the mom, it shout out to this white mother of black children, right? Like, white mothers of black children sometimes get bad they get bad feedback, sometimes legitimately so. But this white mother of black children, she seemed to know what the fuck time it is, and she seemed ready to move and to protect her boys. She seems to be well apprised of all of the perspectives of the situation. So let's hear from the mother.
I'm here today to talk about our neighbor that we've had issues with. It's not only been months, it's been over a year and 2 months. Now that I look back at the emails that I used to send to Code Enforcement Officer Danielle Bryant, she said that she would get with her superiors, which was us at the time, our chief of police, about the issue with the lights. And come to find out, talking to Miss Tammy, that we've had a light ordinance this entire time and nobody's done anything about it. The fact that we have been harassed so many times and had to ask for help so many times. And now it's gotten to the point where my children are black and there's a noose hanging across the street from them, and seeing that every single day. We've tried to go through the correct routes with filing things, with talking to people, with trying to get this done professionally, and we have not been heard. And so now we are going to the news outlets. We are trying to figure out what we're going to do going forward with advocates, because it's been known, like, we've had issues this entire time and nothing is being done with the police. Nothing is being done at all, and it's being brought to the attention of the chief. I've had to send emails last week to Miss Tammy. There's no reason that this should be occurring like this. It is 2024. I hope this never happens to any other children. I have my son asking me, what did he mean? Because he told my dad in the street that my dad called him a boy. And he said, I'm not your boy, but I have something for your little boy. And pointed in the tree to that noose, talking about the rope. Told your officers. Nothing. Why? Why are they being trained to not know the laws? The simple light ordinance that apparently has been brought on the church, that has been brought on Cameron Auto Salvage for them shining lights, because it's not just a regular light, it's a stadium light. And then specifically, it's a light from Cameron Auto Salvage, from his son-in-law who brought it to him. It's a huge light. I wish I had a picture of it for you guys to see. I have my phone. If you guys want to ever have, I will email it to you guys after this. But the fact that our house looks like Christmas every night, the light is shining through our windows. The officers tell us, we'll just get blackout curtains. Why do I have to get blackout curtains? Because a known racist is across the street from my children. I'm sorry for getting emotional, but I'm a mom just trying to do this for my kids. And we have not been heard, and nobody is helping. And this is why I'm going to try to run for city council next year, because enough is enough. We need change. Dan, you've done a great job trying to come in here and be transparent with us. Our other councilman, council lady, appreciate you guys.
All right. So yeah, that was the mom. And like I said, she seems to be with it and on time. When all of these Republican-led school boards and states and governors like DeSantis and Glenn Youngkin in Virginia, and they talk about, well, we don't want to teach critical race theory, even though these fuckers don't know what critical race theory is. But when they talk about they don't want to teach the actual true account of American history because they don't think that kids should be learning about racism at such a young age. The kids shouldn't be burdened with learning about racism. What they mean is they don't think white children should be burdened with learning about racism because Black children learn about racism very early, and they don't learn it out of a book. They learn it by existing in their Black bodies as kids in this country. That was a threat that that neighbor levied against a child, to tell the child to his face, basically, I got something for that boy, and point to the noose. Again, let all of this be totally reflective of how America actually is. It has no problem instilling terror, fear, threats of violence onto babies, children. This is why this country, this is why the Biden administration, this is why so many in this country can very easily turn away from the atrocities happening in Gaza right now, because this is standard operating procedure for America. Of course, you terrorize and murder children, especially non-white children. They don't count. Those little boys, they might as well be men, right? I'm sure the police rode up and was like, who are these grown ass men? I'm sorry. What do you mean, sons? Y'all are ages 4 and 6. Well, you look like you look older, right? So when we talk about preserving democracy, ladies and gentlemen, in our non-binary folks, do you think those little Black boys living in Manville, Tennessee, Manville, Texas, who exit their front door every day to see nooses hanging from their neighbor's tree that their neighbor has already told them is for them, and when they call the police, when they white granddaddy calls the police, when they white mama calls the police and asks for help and asks for protection, they get shrugs. They get questions in return. Well, what do you want us to do? Something. Again, Texas, the same state in which James Byrd was dragged behind a pickup truck, and his murderers were never charged with hate crimes, despite obviously race being the motivating primary factor for those people lynching him in that way to begin with. I'm just saying, when you hear all this from our Black Democratic friends, family members, colleagues, well, what do you want? You want Trump to win? Is that what you want? Well, how do you think America's going to be then? I need you to ask them, tell me how America is right now. Tell me how America is right now. Like, tell me the version of the hellscape that you believe is worse than the one that we are currently in. And I understand, listen, my lesson, my takeaway from 2016 for the election of Donald Trump, because again, I didn't expect that. Trump winning was not quite what I expected. And I got on myself really hard about that, because I felt as though I lacked imagination. Like I understand that when it comes to this country and the insane shit that America's capable of, silly me to ever lack imagination, right? So I don't want to lack imagination about what a Trump presidency could be capable of, but I want us to be very clear about what we have right here in this moment, okay? We have a country replete with mass shootings. We have a country that is being battered on all coasts with varying forms of climate disaster, from wildfires in the West to flooding in Texas to 111 degrees, it felt like today in the nation's capital. Like, neither of the presidential candidates are interested in addressing either of these things. So let us be clear. We live in a hellscape right now. We do not live in a democracy right now. We live in fascism right fucking now. And the reprieve for that is not going to be voting for president. The reprieve for that is not really going to be voting at all. The reprieve is going to be the way that we come together and are able to stand, not only stand with, but fight for and alongside. And this is where we circle back to Brother Quanell X. Because as you saw in the Fox 26 Houston package, Brother Quanell was out there, right? Standing with that white mother and her Black babies, right? But I found a longer excerpt of that press conference that didn't quite make the Fox 26 Houston edit. And I thought that Brother Quanell, along with Dr. Candace Matthews, again, I don't know these folks. I don't know to the extent their reputation in Houston, but I like the way they talk. And I think you guys might also like the way they talk. So Will, let's cue up that press conference, of which again we saw an excerpt of in the TV package, but this is a longer, not edited clip. And let's listen about how they intend to stand with this family and protect these black boys from that racist piece of shit across the street. Let's take a listen.
Manville, we ain't begging you for a damn thing. You better do something about this man. And we want this man to know that if you harm one hair on this little boy's head or any at that house because of your racial hatred, then I will come back. And I'll come back in my customary manner and we'll shut this damn neighborhood down. Because they can do something about this man. They're choosing not to do something about this man, and he's using racial hate and terroristic threats that are rooted in race and bigotry to harass this family. You hanging up nooses. Well, we want this rusty, raggedy, racist man to know that if you decide to act on that, I guarantee you there's a piece of ground to hold you, and we won't hesitate. Whoa. This is ridiculous. This is pathetic. And she's reached out to law enforcement. They lie. Nothing we can do. Well, when you hanging nooses in the yard and making racial threats, that is terroristic threat. Where's the charge? There's no charge. Then to lie and tell her, oh, there's not a light ordinance. And he's flashing a light into their homes. We want this man to know it is time you behave yourself. Because if you don't, you'll see the real black men and women come into your damn neighborhood who don't give a damn about your lights, who care nothing about your Trump signs, and we will deal with the situation by any means necessary to root you up out of here. This is pathetic. All they want to do is live in peace and enjoy their neighborhood. They've been here for 3 decades. She was raised in that home, and now she has to suffer this type of harassment because of a racial bigot? We don't think so. Go ahead, Doc.
Dr. Candace Matthews, National Minister of Politics for New Black Transformation. What I find is just very disturbing because, one, you know, this is someone that racism is embedded in their family. This is a whole pawpaw right over here that's doing this foolishness. Then he had the temerity to come out and take pictures of us. Guess what? We're taking pictures of you. And then what I find very disturbing is that how is it that Manville Police Department has been notified and nothing was done? How is it that this man can feel freely to put a noose up? Now, check this. We don't have an issue with freedom of speech, but we do have an issue when you put nooses in trees. You are racially profiling people, then you're threatening them and having racial threats. That is a problem. And so my thing, and I want to send a message to racist pawpaw over here, is that we are not in the 1900s or the 1800s, sir. We pull up. You turn around and do anything to anybody that's on this damn street, you finna see what we coming with, because this is unacceptable. You don't do that. And then for him to even have these, it looks like somebody cat pee up in here. Got all this foolishness going on, house all dirty and just ragged, and then you got all these politicians that don't want to be involved. Well, then if you don't want to be involved, get your butt out here and do something about it. Because he run around here doing this to your constituents who voting for you. This is unacceptable. But then you know, they want to throw the rock and hide their hand. Now you ain't throwing no rock and hide no hand today. You gonna get this racist pawpaw up out of here, and he better mind his manners, or we gonna mind it for him.
I don't want no smoke with black Texans. None. Absolutely zero. Every word they said, I believed. When Brother Quanell said, hey, first of all, I love black folks. I love us. I love us. Yes, they're going to tell you stand there and we're going to stand with this family. We're going to make sure they are protected, but they also going to make sure that they let everybody know that man house is raggedy and it smell like cat pee. And look at this raggedy ass shit over here. This raggedy ass paw. I love it. Reading them down and threatening them all at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. My brother said, you can come over here and play games if you want to, you know what I'm saying? I got a piece of ground that can hold you. I said, oh shit, they hitting y'all with all the southern euphemisms. I love it. And what else did the sister say? She was like, you can talk all you she didn't say talk all the shit, but she was said that they ready to pull up. And you know when Texans, white, black, Latino, when Texans tell you that they ready to pull up, what does that mean, chat? Gunplay. That's all that means. That's it. They're not talking about fighting. This is Texans. When they talk about pulling up, they talk about pew-pewing out this motherfucker. You better, okay, racist paw. What's up? That's what I love to see. And I want to shout out to Dr. Candace and Brother Quanell, because that's what the fuck I want to hear, see, amplify right here. Like, do not play games with these racists. If these racists is talking that dumb shit, they talking that click-clack, talk that click-clack right back to their ass. Or you want to talk stupid? You want to threaten children? You want to threaten little boys with nooses? Oh, okay. Oh, you want to be simple, huh? Oh, let us all be simple together. let us all be simple together then. Paw, we got you. We got you. And it is a shame that in 2024, like this is black children's lived experience, okay? And these are black children, dare I say, with some modicum of privilege themselves, with their mama white and they got a white man and they white grandfather ready to stick up and stand up for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a white down the ride for you, you know, that helps. That helps in America. So these children already have a bit of privilege themselves, right? And still they are not immune from racist violence and racist threats, even as kids. Their youth does not shield them from that. Their white mother does not shield them from that. Their white grandfather does not shield them from that. Their suburban lifestyle does not shield them from that. So again, I ask those that are talking about we need to save and uphold democracy, do you think these children feel free in Joe Biden's America, in Greg Abbott's Texas? Let's not be naive here, guys. Elections are not going to get us free. Democrats are going to try to convince you that as long as you keep voting liberal and Democrat for the next 1,000 years, one day, maybe you niggas might. You might pull even in 1,000 years, but every election is the most important election. So you must be voting in the most important election every 4 years for the next 1,000 years. And one day you darkies might. Manville, Texas, everybody, we're going to keep an eye on that situation, but we want to send protection first and foremost to those little boys. We want to send big up to that little boy's mama and their granddaddies, who understand that you have to use all of your whiteness to protect your black loved ones from the racist whiteness that exists in America that is deadly. It is fatal. It is traumatizing. And I could hear the traumatization of the white mother and the white grandfather. They are traumatized. They can't believe this shit. They're like, wait, our whiteness doesn't check his whiteness? Nope, it doesn't. Because your daughter slept with a black man, and that has diminished her white value in the eyes of the arbiters, dare I say, the protectors of whiteness and property in some way, law enforcement. And they treated her as such, and they treated her father as such, and treating them kids as such. The pure white man upholding American values is who is getting protection there in Manville, Texas. But shout out to Dr. Candace and Brother Quanell for at least trying to put the fear, put the fear in them crackers. Thank you so much for your service. And gang, we're going to call it a show. I have no idea what time it is. It could be 10 fucking o'clock for all I know. I don't know what time it is. My phone died within the first 5 minutes of the program. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. I hope you guys will engage with us. Give us a thumbs up on the way out, please. And thank you. Let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Join us tomorrow morning on Black Liberation Media. It's Women's Wednesdays on the Remix Morning Show. Even though I think we're going to have a rooster in the hen house. Kamau Franklin might be joining us. Did you see, brother? You see Revolutionary DeBarge up there today? you see Mr. Megaphone. You see Brother Malcolm up there giving it his best. We're a big fan of Kamau out here. We appreciate the work that Kamau does and all of our comrades associated with Black Liberation Media. So join us tomorrow morning on the Remix Morning Show, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Go over there and subscribe. 40,000 subscribers to Black Liberation Media. Thank you all so much for doing that for us. And we will be back here on a Friday for the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Join me tomorrow on Twitch for Kim's Twitch Turn Up. Go over there and follow me on Twitch. Set your notifications. It's a good time had by all. Well, by me. Firstly and foremostly, I have a good time. If the good times are contagious, since we talk about New Orleans, les bon temps roulés, oui. All right, n'est-ce pas? Vraiment. Okay. Au revoir. À maintenant. No, fuck it. I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Remix Morning Show. I'll see y'all back here Friday. Thank you so much to Will and Molly, and appreciate y'all. Peace. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.